Hello guys, and welcome to another compelling video for Arkham Horror, the card game. I am Steven.
I'm Robert.
Hello. We have a ton of videos that we're doing for this core set. This is one of many. This is Survivor cards, so you're going to want to check out all of the other ones. We're going to be talking about Wendy Adams and really the deck that she comes with.
That's
out
right,
of this
the
core
red
set.
cards.
So check that out if you haven't already, and or after this video, go see those videos as well. And also check out our subscription program. Covenant Subscriptions is serving Arkham Horror, the card game. So we have packs and boxes and even supplements. So it's things like Curse of the Rougarou and those kinds of
Carnival of Horrors.
Yeah, those kinds of things that we can just conveniently deliver right to you. You don't have to worry about keeping up a product. Everybody's really been loving that service. So yeah. Check that out. And now, Robert, let's dive into Wendy Adams. She's the urchin.
The urchin.
I'm going to start with the back here, talking about, of course, the nuts and bolts of Wendy Adams. Deck size is 30. The options are Survivor cards, 0 through 5, Rogue cards, 0 through 2, and then neutral cards, 0 through 5. Pretty standard, yeah. Deck building requirements, which do not count towards that deck size, are her amulet, so Wendy's amulet, abandoned and alone, and then one random basic weakness.
Cool.
Poor Wendy, but she's making it happen. She's surviving.
Everybody's coping in this game, right?
It's a game of
fighting a hard battle.
Isn't that really so? Lovecraft,
in real time.
Lovecraft is about that.
Historically, yes.
And I didn't realize this until Jonathan brought it to my attention. Having no experience with Lovecraft at all, it's basically like there's nothing to be done about your fate.
Yes.
You just get by as long as you can, and then eventually descend into madness.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, because I mean, they're the elder gods for a reason. They've been around for a long time, and you're a mere insignificant mortal. Yes. Nothing you can do about it, really. Well, except toil.
Except toil. So Wendy's going to be toiling. We've got a 4 for willpower there, 3 for knowledge, 1 for might or fight, depending on who you ask, and then 4 for agility.
Cool.
And also known as speed.
I like that spread.
Yeah, it's a really strong. It's like, this is pretty obviously min-max towards what Wendy wants to be doing, which is not fighting.
Surviving.
As it turns out.
Yeah.
Surviving, that's right. It has an action there. When you reveal a chaos token, choose and discard a card from your hand, cancel that chaos token and return to the bag, reveal a new chaos token, and that's once per test or ability.
That's really good. That's very good.
And then has the old Superstar Elder Sign effect plus 0. So wait, what's the deal? But if Wendy's amulet is in play, you automatically succeed instead. So relying a lot on the amulet there. So we've seen these kinds of effects, especially in cooperative games before. Read Lord of the Rings.
100%.
You've been a huge fan of Eleanor in that. Isn't Eleanor?
Eleanor, yes.
Now, this isn't exactly that kind of an effect, but I think we can, right out of the gate, appreciate the diversity that Wendy's going to bring to the game, making your polls so much more consistent.
Correct.
That big moment. I put all my cards and money and everything into this, and I can't draw a tentacle.
Exactly.
You know, I just can't do it, and so Wendy's there. Makes it happen.
And yeah, anytime you can, because again, all this, your opponent is static. It's not actively choosing anything. It's not willfully opposing you. So if you have the capacity to shape what your opponent is doing, being inanimate as it is, that is a super phenomenal ability.
And probably will only see greater and greater dividends as the game moves on. Right?
I'm sure, yeah.
All right.
I love it.
So we also have 7 health and 7 sanity there. So nice spread, actually. That's pretty significant.
She's hardy.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
All right, next up we have Wendy's amulet. It is a 2-cost asset with 2 wild card icons. Item and relic traded, occupying your next slot, of course. And then Wendy Adams deck only. You may play the topmost event in your discard pile as if it were in your hand.
Now that's synergy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now that's what I call synergy.
And then finally, forced, after you play an event, place it on the bottom of your deck instead of in your discard pile.
Okay, that's fair. So the only way that she's really, not the only way, of course, because players are clever.
Yes, they're very clever.
But right out of the box, the way that we're getting actually events on the top of her discard pile is by using her ability to discard a card from hand.
That's right.
So it makes a lot of sense. Discard a card, leverage, your ability there, and then you can immediately play that out of your discards. So it's like you have an extra card in hand, you can control it. It's actually really nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's nice synergy, and it really hedges what I think she's all about.
But what if I don't get the amulet?
Getting by, you're screwed.
All right, good to know. Good to know. Moving on to Abandoned and Alone. Treachery card. It's a weakness for Wendy there. Oh, what good art, too. Really gets that across. Madness traded, Revelation. Take 2 direct horror and remove all cards in your discard pile from the game.
Wonderful.
So if you were setting something up and here's this thing I want to play, now you're abandoned and alone and you truly realize
so much flavor.
How sad it is to
I don't
have
need
no
them.
one.
I don't need anyone.
Well, that's good. At least she's coming at it from a positive perspective.
Is it?
Rather than like, I don't have anyone, I want someone.
Okay.
Like that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. She's not really
strong-
concerned with her plight. She's just coping.
Yeah, she's coping.
Yeah.
So good for Wendy.
All right, next up we have the leather coat. It's free. It's an asset. It has a combat icon, item and armor traded, occupying your torso slot, of course, and it adds 2 hit points.
That's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice.
Has your little slot there.
2 healthies.
Taking care of your chest. Now look at it. The coat was not the most fashionable choice, but it did feel warm and reassuring in its bulk.
That's right.
I can say that about most of my clothing.
All right.
Scavenging.
Lot of moves.
One cost asset, got the knowledge icon there. It is talent traded. And then after you successfully investigate by 2 or more, exhaust scavenging, choose an item card in your discard pile and add it to your hand.
I like it.
Are we calling this reaction or react action, or did we decide what we're actually calling this?
I'm borrowing from Netrunner because
think it's reaction.
it's just too funny. It's a recurring action.
Recurring action. There you go. So that's nice. Choose an item in your discard pile and add it to your hand.
That's
All
right.
Well, scavenging indeed.
Awesome.
The survivors.
That
I like the
guy
theme.
is just bloodied up.
Yeah, but he found
Sheesh.
himself a table leg.
That's right, and I'm gonna use it.
Let me tell you.
Gonna start
you
a
should
fire.
see the other guy.
All right, next up we have a very ghostly looking lady with a baseball bat. It's a 2-cost asset, 1 combat icon, item, weapon, and melee traded. 2 hand slots for this one.
Wow.
And then as an action fight, you get +2 combat for this attack. This attack deals +1 damage. If a skull or a tentacle symbol is revealed during the attack, discard baseball bat after the attack resolves.
So
What? It broke. It's a cork bat.
I don't know, and I hate to dive into rules in these unboxings because I just don't know them well enough to make this call. But if you use Wendy's ability on said skull or tentacle, does it actually count towards baseball bat? Because it says if it's revealed during this attack. Technically,
Yes.
it is revealed, but then you dispose of it. So do you
Yes.
still discard the baseball bat? I think this has been asked before. I think I've seen that.
I bet it has been, but
I would think no.
I would hope in the spirit of everything else that it's not. You kind of ignore it, and it wasn't what you were dealt.
I agree. I think I like that.
Yeah, if you're discarding it, you're drawing a new one. Effects are nullified.
Yeah, cancel
or
that
something.
chaos token. It says so
There you go.
completely cancel it and return it to the bag.
There you go.
I think you would still be able to keep that baseball bat around.
Hope we
for
answered
sure.
that one sufficiently.
Yeah, who knows, you know? And I also love that I had the first time I've realized that these double hand icons is kind of that old Diamond Dallas Page logo. Robert is not the kind of guy that watched wrestling as a child.
No.
Where is Zach on this unboxing? He would be
Sorry.
right there with.
Sorry, bro. I missed that episode.
You're better for it. Let's go to the Rabbit's Foot, a 1-cost asset with a wild skill icon. Item and a charm has the recurring action. After you fail a skill test, exhaust Rabbit's Foot, draw 1 card.
Great.
It's really, it's super solid. I love cards
I
like
have
this.
never seen anybody wear a rabbit's foot around their neck.
No. Is that
It's
an
on
old time?
It's on a keychain, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
that
yeah.
how this works?
Definitely.
They had cars back then.
There's a strange.
Get with the times, old timers.
It's a strange thing to think about wearing a rabbit's foot around your neck.
Yeah, a dead animal's appendage
That seems pretty
around
old
your
school.
neck. It's pretty morbid.
But I'll tell you one thing: is this so? Wendy, is a lot about leveraging that ability and not failing skill tests.
Right?
But now she's being rewarded in this card pool for failing.
That's right.
So this comes back to like game theory. Do you kind of try to even out your character so that, well, I'm not going to fail most likely, but even when I do, I get a little benefit? Or are you going to try to min-max and not play a card like this because you're never going to fail?
Yeah, I think Wendy's shtick is that she kind of like, what was her name? Amanda at Gen Con who gave us the demo?
Yeah, it was Amanda.
She was great. She said it very well where Wendy's trying to make the most out of a bad situation. And I think she has enough cards that when out and working in concert with each other, she can invite, negligible failures in order to reap disproportional benefits. So it's like me failing right here and now isn't significant because whatever that consequence is less than, say, drawing a card or doing whatever else might trigger as
So
a result.
she can kind of have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I like that.
Pick and choose when you
Just
succeed
making
and
the
fail.
best of all situations.
That's right. All right, next up is the Stray Cat, a 1-cost asset with a flighty foot. Excuse me, that's agility. I know we want to get to the official names for things. It is ally and creature traded, and then as a reaction, you can discard Stray Cat, automatically evade a non-elite enemy at your location. It is your ally slot, of course, and it gives 1 hit point health.
Yeah, 1 little health. And you use this to great effect during that Gen Con.
Yeah, that ghoul got a snack.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't, if you're
should check that
watching this
video.
having not actually seen how to play the game, which is probably a very small percentage watching there. But we do have a Gen Con demo that we did whenever this first released, and this card was
It's when we fell in love with the
one
game.
of my favorite moments, yeah. Let's go to Dig Deep, a truly horrendous
What is that thing?
and horrific thing. That's the kind of thing that is so not like anything that I can compare it to.
That bulldog's been working out.
It just like, it gives me the weirdest feeling. It's very creepy.
It's gross.
2-cost asset. We have a willpower and agility skill icons to this, and this is your standard talent for the survivors now. You spend 1 resource, get +1 willpower for this skill test,
Yeesh.
and spend 1 resource, get +1 agility for this skill test.
Yeesh.
And you can just do those.
It's great, yeah. Just pump yourself up
Plug 'em up.
as and where needed.
You just, you know, it's money for skills,
That creature is very disturbing.
which is
Can't-
really
can't quite get over it.
American dream.
All right, it is art out of Wizard of Oz or something like
Yeah.
that. It is a cunning distraction, turkey-based cunning distraction.
Yeah, just throw a turkey.
You can only use it around Thanksgiving. 5-cost event with a willpower and wild icon, tactic traded, and then reading evade, automatically evade all enemies at your location. It is expensive, but this can be very handy.
Very handy.
Very handy if you just need to get out of Dodge.
And what kind of a situation would you be in where you need to throw a turkey to distract your opponents?
I mean,
Because
yeah.
I presume that food is not terribly easy to come by in a survivor situation.
That's true.
So you're having to sacrifice your dinner to get away from these flying monkeys.
Yeah, you're gonna get hungry. You're gonna have to eat that leather coat.
Yeah, finally.
Something.
It's about time. Boil it up. 2-cost event, look what I found. I like that as well. Ooh, and look what was
What
found.
is it? Some
What is
like-
that? Is that alive?
Is
it
it a
statue?
creature or a statue? Yeah, I still don't know.
It's got 2 knowledge skill icons there. It is fortune traded and is fast, so it doesn't consume your action. Play after you fail a skill test by 2 or less while investigating. Discover 2 clues in your location.
2.
Oh, it's so good.
Wonderful.
I love this card.
And-
Anytime you can discover 2 clues, anytime you discover clues without passing the test.
Exactly.
It's a huge deal.
I think we've all played enough now to recognize that there are plenty of instances where you would rather not have to do a reach into the bag and invite something awful because you
can
just
just
need
get
to
the clues.
need to get going and the clock is ticking. Anywho,
So you've got, if you fail it or if you pass it, great. If you fail it, great.
great.
That's Wendy's story, I guess, the survivor story.
And it's
right?
fast. It's fast. Okay, next up we have Lucky! Exclamation point, a 1-cost event, fortune traded, also fast. Play when you would fail a skill test. Very nice. Get +2 to your skill value for that test.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
you can pick and choose when and where you're failing. It's
This is
really nice.
This is really good, and the art on this is just killer. I mean, the survivors are dealing with all sorts
All
of the
these
worst
weird zergly things are
stuff.
just terrifying.
Got the glove though, just the glove. Didn't get the hand.
Yeah,
Thank
lucky.
goodness for that.
However that happens.
Must have had that rabbit's foot on.
Mm-hmm.
Survival instinct skill here for the survivors. It has 1 agility icon, and it's innate. If this skill test is successful during an evasion attempt, the evading investigator may immediately disengage from each other enemy engaged and may move to a connecting location. So really a get out of dodge card.
Yeah, this is better perhaps version of that, what is it?
turkey card?
The turkey card, whose name I've immediately now forgotten.
look at it.
Cunning distraction, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, play this and you get to move to a new location. This is very nice. So pack this one in your deck. if you've
Yeah,
got
I
the
like
room for
survival
it.
instinct a lot.
It's great.
It really helps, and it lets you put yourself in some bad situations,
Yes.
which really is
Which you should be
what
doing.
the game is about.
Help me out with this name, Stephen, because I'm going
Aquina.
to butcher it. Thank you, Aquina. The Forgotten Daughter, a 5-cost asset with 1 pip, a willpower icon as well, ally traded and ally slot, and then as a, what is that?
Recurring action, reaction, recurring reaction.
Trigger.
However you want.
Trigger's in there somewhere.
Spins.
When an enemy attacks you, exhaust an equa and deal 1 horror to her. Deal that enemy's damage to another enemy at your location instead. You still take the horror dealt by the attack. And then featuring 1 health and 4 sanity points.
That's
4 sanity?
so
Insanity.
awesome. It's like an Aikido move. It's like
yeah,
a
it's
redirection
beautiful.
of damage to another thing at the location.
Fill up all the vessels with damage.
I love this character. Coolest ally that I have yet seen.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
she looks like she's a wheeler and a dealer.
Cool ally, man. I love it so much.
And the quote's great too.
2-cost event, 2 pips, got a might and an agility icon there. Close call. It is fortune traded. It is fast. Play after a non-weakness, non-elite enemy at your location is evaded.
Cool.
Shuffle that enemy into the encounter deck.
Great.
So evade it. That's where you could string together some, you know, who knows, cunning, distraction, close call. You could start to shuffle things back in. Survivors be surviving.
I like it. Yeah, if you got the resources to spend, you can really start like chaining some of these out in a perfect storm kind of way.
And it looks kind of like, Robert, if I'm not mistaken, that we're going to be looking at, when we're building these survivor decks and spinning this experience, you know, you can kind of go one direction, which is the evasion direction. It seems like survivors have a lot of evasion synergy. And then you can also go the failing skill test direction, which we'll see here with Lucky and more. So maybe both. Maybe both.
I hope.
But I'm more of a min-maxer kind of guy myself.
Aren't ya? So next up, we have the improved version of Lucky.
It is luckier.
Luckier! Exclamation point. Still a 1-cost event. Has 2 pips now, as you can see. Fortune traded, fast. Play when you would fail a skill test. That's the same. Still getting +2 to the skill value for that test. The one singular difference is at the very end, draw 1 card.
Replaces itself.
Boom.
So good.
Love it.
Yeah, I just love self-replacing cards is like cars. Self-replacing cards is like it's just something I love. I don't know why. It always feels good when you get to replace it.
You always maintain your card advantage, if you will, that kind of a thing.
Cards are important, right?
Cards are important. It's how you play the game.
All right, let's move on to the final 4-cost event. 3 pips here. Has the might and wild skill icons there. Will to survive. And let me tell you, that is what it takes a lot of times for these
in this game,
these quests.
You guys played this yet?
Spirit traded. Fast. Play only during your turn. Until the end of your turn, do not reveal chaos tokens for any skill tests you perform.
Nice.
How fascinating.
That is excellent.
How fascinating is that? Well, so now...
Yeah, because sometimes you just can't, like I said, can't afford to reach into that bag.
And this is like, so you're directly, you know, just doing nothing with Wendy's ability if you're running this in a Wendy deck. Because her whole thing revolves around chaos tokens.
That's right.
But not revealing tokens and then using those, if you would fail, get +2 kind of stuff, like that becomes just a sure bet. And a sure bet in any game that involves Lovecraft, take it.
Yeah,
Always take it.
So that's great. That's a fantastic card to round things out. So there you have it, folks.
There's the survivors.
Them's the red cards.
Survivor cards out of the core box, and certainly more to come in future expansions. And I love this faction. This one gets fleshed out. It has very much a feel of what is that zombie show on HBO? You know, everyone likes Walking Dead, that kind of a thing, where there's
AMC.
You know, you're really having to survive.
Check your local
It is AMC, isn't it? And they're really good at just like, you know, weird situations. You got to get out of them. It's not a glorious faction, to be sure, but it's a scrappy faction.
It's scrappy.
And I think I really appreciate that.
They're survivors.
So thank you so much for watching, guys. We've got more to come. Check out those other videos for Arkham Horror, the card game, if you haven't already. And of course, if you would like to subscribe to our subscription service, that is a great thing to do. We will send you all of the products for Arkham Horror so you can focus on playing the game instead of figuring out how to check the upcoming page and keep on top of it. So we'll do all that for you. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.
Peace.